guys. Welcome to another edition of the Adjust the Mic podcast. This is episode 180, and everything is fucking different. We've been sitting here talking for a whole hour about all this nonsense, and now we're getting to start the show.
Literal 180.
It's so good to see everybody. It's so good to be recording again. I have Colleen with it. I need to have one of these buttons that has like your theme song.
I need a new name.
We're gonna make a Colleen. Yeah, we do.
Like that's not.
I agree.
You gotta think of one. Like we got Phenomenal. We got people that can get on this. All right.
We need to do that, and you're gonna be good help because I want a sound thing that we introduce everybody.
Okay.
Like Colleen with it, and then we have
like walk up music.
Thaddeus Maximus. You know what I mean? And then I can hit something, and not just it be like an applause, like this.
I like that.
You know, I kind of got that.
The Dizzor?
I'm sure we're starting the show, so I'm sure someone's probably going to be at the door to stop
There it is. You want me to check?
Yeah, could you real quick, actually? Thank you, T-Dog.
Yeah, that's here.
Thaddeus. So how you doing, Colleen?
Good. It's the new year. We've been away from each other for a while.
Well, I haven't seen you.
You came to my house
a few weeks ago?
It's been busy.
Right before Christmas, I came over to get my present.
Yeah.
You got me some Legos.
Yep.
You got that Lego hookup.
Oh, man. The Lego flowers, you got the orchid one, right?
Yeah. It loved it. Anybody here?
It was a flock of fruit bats.
Ooh, the fruit bats.
Yeah, nobody.
The dangerous fruit bats. So how's it going, Thad?
Really great.
Happy New Year to you, man.
Back at you both.
Like, God, man. It's been, what, a month and a half before Thanksgiving?
I say it's been like it feels like 2 months or something. I can't believe it's been 4 years since like we started doing this together. Me and
we were
you.
just saying that.
We just came to that realization.
Yeah. So we're 180 episodes in. It's been 4 years. Jesus.
Because COVID happened like right when I started.
Yeah.
And you moved.
Yep.
And
we're still rolling.
4 years.
And we're still doing it. And everything changes a little bit each time.
This is nice though. You've been doing work.
Yes. I feel like we're getting to a more permanent type of situation here. We've upgraded everything. We've changed the way we're doing everything in here. So when our guests that have been on the show, when your Franks and everybody gets on, they're going to be like, what the heck? This is awesome.
Can I just let the listeners know? Scott's been on a thing, what I call a glow up.
Yes.
Right? Where like you get real down about yourself and all of a sudden you just start making changes, little changes that are making things better. And, you know,
Indeed.
Things just start happening. Like you got it all, man. Now It's like really things are going so well for you.
I feel like I always reference this with T. He'll know what I'm saying is The Field of Dreams, the movie with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That. Yeah.
And I've always kind of understood that to be something that works for me. You know?
You've just been working so hard and now it's all like happening for you. Everything is happening.
Take care of myself, what matters, my children, my work, you know, everything else will slowly work itself out as long as you know how to block the right problems. And when you don't block the right problems happen, right? Or little hitches, not problems really, but and just things that, you know, over these 5 years, it's been a very slow burn to more consistent positive, you know, mindset for me. Like where I think I've said this before on the air, probably just didn't love myself fully for a long time. I fully feel like I do now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've noticed it for the past year. You've made conscious like changes to like cut out that kind of stuff and just kind of grow up and like you had a focus. Like I'm going to do this, and you've been doing that.
Thank you.
And it's evident. And now it's like just all these good things are happening, and your life is like forming into this new thing. And I'm very proud of you.
I'm thankful for people like you, and for Thad, and for Monica, you know, and all those type of people.
We're so thankful for you. And anybody that doesn't know, Scott's a gearhead, and there's all kind of wires and mics
there's
and
fucking
gadgets.
wires.
He changed around the whole studio,
everywhere.
And now it feels like legit. Like
you should hear when I turn on the music over there, just listening to music. I mean, it sounds fantastic over there now.
It does.
It's insane.
So we're going to try to change up the show a little bit. We'll have some phone calls. It'll be fun. So this episode is going to be more like just recapping.
I want us to recap and just talk about what's been going on with everybody, the changes in the studio, some of the things that we're going to be able to do now. First off, we're going to be able to make phone calls. Like actually not joke about making phone calls or try to make a phone call that doesn't work very good. We are set up fully. So BJ, be ready. We still got to call Chad Cook. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to call that motherfucker, and we got to talk to him. We got to talk to Russ too sometimes.
Well, don't call him on a Sunday. He doesn't drink on Sundays, so we need to get him on a Chad day.
Okay. We have some connections out in California with Thaddeus.
Yeah.
In the surf schools and all the things, and Jazz and them coming this way maybe eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to be able to do a lot of different things. We're going to bring a sports aspect into this. Stan and Jared from the first run of this podcast are going to occasionally come by. Another guy, Keith, that's a
talk about
fan,
the Magic.
And we're going to sit around and talk sports. So like when your brother Mark is down here, or if your brother Mark wants to give us the Giant perspective, we're going to call up Mark with his tucked in shirt, hanging out with Lawrence Taylor,
Michael Strahan,
and all these guys. And we're going to talk to him, and we're going to figure it out. So all of those things are coming.
Speaking of that, the new year started off so great because I broke the curse and I am now fantasy football champion, baby.
You are the champion.
I beat all you guys. I had the most points this year.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
I had the best team. Like
I need a wah, wah, wah.
I would like to thank my win to Travis Melvin, who picked Travis Kelce in the first round, which literally led me to throw things at my husband who was doing his drafts because I was so pissed off. But that led to Tyreek Hill, who turned out to be the best mother effing receiver this year by far. That guy got me to where I am. So Tyreek Hill, thank you. Miami, thank you.
Yeah, he killed it.
I'm going to get Tua next year and get Tua and Hill together.
I'm telling you, I think the only reason you won is because I didn't try.
No, nobody did. The league got lame. Nobody cared. Like the only people, BJ would give a shit like on the side. All I want to do is beat Frank and you.
I think it's a cancer that's taking over fantasy football for people over the age of 40. For me, at least.
Well,
here's why. Everybody's got a league. We've been doing it for 25 years now. Mm-hmm. I don't have the desire throughout the week to read practice reports and then to know I need to play this guy this week, or this guy's playing against this defense, which is a weak defense. And I need to make this trade, or I need to do this. I don't have that. Like Jared, our buddy Jared, he's like first in almost every league, but he lives on. I
can't believe people like that exist that play it like that, because I don't play it like that. And I want a league that people don't play it like that. And they're just like, they can talk shit and have fun. And like, hey, I'll watch literally like, NFL Network right before Sunday and be like, okay, who are actives and inactives? Sometimes I just go off of feelings, but it's like, it's just fun because it helps me keep track of the players.
Yeah.
And the Giants have been sucking so bad, I can at least watch something else.
What if we did in the future, like next year, like something along like, how like some of these sports betting things where you can do like these weekly things and get like people just that week to get into like a little weekly thing, and whoever wins the pot that week, and then we can kind of talk about it and jazz about it a little bit more as a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise we're going to have to like somehow.
There's not going to be a league next year. Brent doesn't want to do it. No, we're done.
Yeah. I'm going
to start a secret league on the side though with BJ.
Yeah,
one where we literally will talk shit all the time.
There you go.
But like BJ and I have been doing fantasy football together like forever. I didn't even have Declan yet, and just helping each other every year. So when we got in this league, it sucked so bad that people like Andrea were beating us when it's like we know what we're doing, and like she's like,
dude, that happens in our league. We have a league that the winning team gets $1,400. I got fourth this year in that league, and it won a couple $100, right? There's people in there that they had the worst team on paper and won or got second or third. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like fantasy, because it's by chance. There's so many injuries by week 15 and 16 that you're playing backups anyway.
That's
so why
part
do you
of
even
the
draft
fun
a team?
is the risk, the excitement. Like
it's not a risk.
It really is, because if your guy makes it the whole game,
of losing your money, and the risks are high.
I'm not trying to.
And the payout's not that good.
But like what we do, like a $20 league and you get $200, who cares? Like that's perfect. Like I'm glad that there wasn't anybody taking it super serious, but like towards the end I was like, okay, as long as I could be the people that do know what they're doing, like Frank and Scott.
Jason Miner saw me somewhere. Where did I see Jason? I told you about it.
At the lobster place. I just made that up.
Lobster place. No, it was somewhere.
Grills?
Port Kentucky. Yeah.
It was somewhere.
KP.
I see him. And we're sitting here talking. Jason's like, yeah, we're playing this week. I'm like, we are?
Oh, my God.
And I went and looked. I'm like, oh, let me get this guy started. Look at this. I had the best guys that were just killing it.
You did have
when I lost, the guys I didn't put in, I would have won. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, sometimes I look at your bench. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah, I just didn't pay attention.
That's all right.
My dad was in the hospital for 2 months. I just ugh. My dad, like he won our family league. We have a league that's all my family. They're all Anellos or Geysers, like on my side. And then Jared is the only one in there that's not like a family member of ours, you know?
Yeah.
So I got my brother, my cousin, like everybody's in there. I have my cousin Shona in Arizona and Tim in Arizona and everything. Everybody's goal was to just beat Jared because Jared won the year before and everybody's like, fuck Jared. Fuck you, Jared.
He takes it so serious,
and
the stories you tell me.
Well, and Jared, he'll go through and he went to everybody in that league and just offers trades every day.
I don't think we had one trade.
So Jared went undefeated. He was 12-0 at one point, and then he had to play me. And I was the worst team in the league. I was 0-12, and I beat him. Right?
This year?
This year. I was his only loss until he gets all the way to the finals, and he has to play my dad.
Your dad won.
And my dad beat his ass.
Yes.
Jared tried. Jared really did try. And like my dad got him. He had a good team. Jared had the best team on paper and traded it all year. So, but while he was doing these trades, everybody was just hating on him, and it was the best. So
you need a villain.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So Jared, the new trophy, if we do this anymore, it's going to be the Coolberta.
Oh my god!
like
fancy. Like
I'm gonna find
like
a way to mold Jared in a statue.
It's weird because like I like it so much, but then I talk to you and Brent, and you guys have been playing in serious leagues for so long, and every league I've been in has never been serious. It's always been fun. It's like for me, I'm a competitive person, and I can't play football, and like this is a way for me to get to know the game and the players in a fun way, and like it's awesome when I actually win because like you get this little high of like, oh, you know, and like when your player gets hurt and you're like, I mean, it's cool. You get to live. Cool. The reason people watch sports, you know, like the uncertainty.
Totally. Here's my Frank one. Ready?
Friday, 3:31 p.m. Friday, 3:32 p.m.
Sounds like the gorilla song.
How are you doing? So previous message was me literally laughing hysterically at how bad Charlie's fantasy football team is. Best of luck to y'all. We'll see you. Bye.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
I don't know.
It literally did sound like the beginning to that.
That's pretty cool.
That right? Dr. Feel or whatever Feel Good,
right?
By the Gorillas.
Yeah, that's when we had our shitty phone system that didn't work.
I can only imagine what's going to happen now.
But so how's everything going? Like, what you guys been up to? It's been a little bit. T, what have you been up to, man?
I've been working on the studio.
Looks good too, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, man.
Working on a lot of music, original and collabing, and a bunch of mixing.
And a lot of preparing too.
Yeah, for the event, January 19th. It's EcoFest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ego Fest. We're all going to be. It's going to be all egos all the time.
The battle
of the ego.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
No, but
Thadness, huge ego walking in here.
Thadness.
Barely get through the room. Excuse me, sir.
January 19th, right?
Yep.
At
January 19th, Cocoa Village.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of bands, and one of them that T is very close with, Kyle and the 8-Minute Mile.
Miles.
Yeah. They've been working together for a while now, and it's amazing. And the band's great. I got to hear them at the down in Sanford at the West End Trading Company last year, was it?
Yeah.
And I think it was early last year. It was fantastic. It was awesome. And this is their second annual. They were there last year.
Yep.
We're going to our booth this year on January 19th. It's going to be with Thad, and then we're just going to do it all together. So we're all just hanging out.
Yeah, because the kids, my brother's in town. So I'm going to try to bring the girls there while Brent's golfing that day and the kids are in school. Is there going to be fun stuff for young kids to be doing?
All day.
Yep. There's going to be all kinds of gifts and little
this can be
things.
Perfect.
It's going to be awesome. So we're just going to be hanging out. We'll probably bring that little Pod 4 recorder.
Yeah.
And we'll just get some like clips and stuff. We're going to do a phone call, I think, here later this week. We need to set something up with Quill.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Quill Darling. I feel so bad. I got to say this on the air.
That's a cool name.
Last year,
And the Confession Kids,
totally. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
her band.
Quill and the Confession Kids, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that how it's?
Well, no, it doesn't read like it's Quill's like an artist, but she plays on
In
her
a
own.
band?
Well, she plays on her own, and she plays in a group,
Okay.
the Confession Kids.
And are both playing on the EcoFest?
Uh huh.
So,
She's
boom.
gonna do 2 sets.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But here's what I want. Like last year, she was our first person that we interviewed and recorded. And that was when the SD card that I had in that podcast setup was faulty or was doing file errors. And I only got like 40% of everything that we recorded that day. You remember the little kid that was
Yes.
collecting the trash?
Yes.
I missed so much of that too. But Quill in particular, because I was like so excited. It was such a good conversation
it's
with her.
gone?
And then she, I was going to call. I'm like, hey, we'll make this up since I fucked up, and I'm going to call you. And we just never got that set up or did that. And I just didn't feel the timing was right. It didn't make sense.
It's a time for a redo.
So for this year, we want to redo it. We want to redo it right.
Cool.
And we want to have a good conversation with Quill.
Cocoa
So
Village
he
is so
helped line
awesome
that up.
too.
It is.
It's gonna be a fun event because even if like you're not there, there's so much to do. I just went there for the first time in years to Tai Tai, and I'm like walking around looking at how much it's actually
awesome.
blown up, and I'm like thinking, I hope, because Titusville, I see it slowly becoming like that. Like we got the brewery, we got the barbershop, the tattoo shop, and
Yep.
now Burger Rob's. It's like more things are coming,
Yep.
and it's like,
Across the
So
streets
if
finishing
Coco
up.
can do
People,
it-
you know what I mean? All that's going on
Just-
across the street.
dang, US1, man, it's the only problem.
You know, I don't think it matters.
Put some speed bumps there.
Yeah.
Talking about a shout out to Mike and all those people up there. Is it Control Tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He did.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
He work. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so cool that you can actually see the tattoo shop right there. Like when you're having beers at Hardware, you can like look over.
I
And
don't
see that.
know those guys.
Yeah.
Or they sounds like they're pretty badass.
Yeah.
I want to get some work done on my arm before long, and
Cool.
maybe link me up with someone.
Yeah.
I have an idea. It's gonna be cool.
Keegan from the brewery, he would just go to get tattooed all the time because Mike is his friend, and they would get drunk and like put stupid tattoos. And Keegan's best friend Sean worked with us too, and Sean came in, and Sean's like this quiet, small, very polite boy, and he's like, I got a tattoo last night. I was like, what is it? It says fuck Keegan. I was like, what? He's like, he told me to get it. So on the back of his leg, it says fuck Keegan. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I want to be friends with somebody who does
That's so
tattoos because I'd
funny.
get drunk and make very bad decisions.
That's pretty.
But
Funny.
they don't care. They love that stuff.
Like when you're drinking though, doesn't it make your blood you bleed?
Yes.
Because they tell you not to drink when you're doing tattoos, right?
Or
That's what they told
piercings.
me when I did mine. They're like, "Have you done this,
It
this,
thins
or
out your
this?"
blood, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my sister, I took her to get her first tattoo, and we go to the shop. They put the stencil on her back, and she faints right there. I'd never seen it happen before. I'd never seen anybody faint. Somebody just happened to be walking by and caught her. This is for the
Wow.
stencil, right? So I'm panicking, and I look, and the tattoo guy's looking at me like, what the fuck? Can she handle this? Now this girl's got like 20 tattoos, man. Like, and she still almost faints every time.
Wow.
I don't
Jeez.
get the tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
how does that feel? Like when you get a tattoo, why do people want to keep getting more?
You
Like,
don't have any?
no, is it like the
I
feeling of
think you would
getting
need
one,
to
or
get one to understand.
no? I don't want to do that. I'm too indecisive. I don't want to make permanent decisions like that.
I'm very indecisive.
But why is it so addicting when people get tattoos?
I
like,
totally regret the one that I got on my back, but I don't regret the experience of getting it. I
is that what people go back for? The experience,
no,
or is it the
everybody
actual
goes back
like,
for their own
artwork?
reasons. There's no one reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has a reason. Some people enjoy it. Some people are very artistic and like the art of it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are just random and like it. Some people like the pain. I mean, you can,
Yeah,
I could give you about 50 reasons people probably do it.
I
You know,
guess.
people do it for their culture. People do it for their heritage.
Listen,
People
I've
do
always
it
been
to,
jealous of
you know,
people that have a ton of tattoos because it's like, how fun. Like, I
do
won't
this.
even paint a wall like
I got-
red or something in my house because I'm like, oh my God,
I
that's
got
too much
the
of a
answer.
statement.
I got the answer. Don't get a tattoo on your skin. Tattoo your eyes black.
Oh my God.
Be like a demon.
I almost tattooed the inside of my lip because I thought like it'd be like getting a tattoo and
Yes.
like,
Yeah, you
Tattoo your eyes.
like they find you, like they find a dog.
I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to do. All my friends were doing that kind of stuff back then, and I was so terrified of my parents.
Look at this
and
dude.
thank God
Look at this dude on the
they
TV.
saved me.
Look at those eyes. He tattooed those. a color.
Why-
Do that.
Why fuck with your eyes? Like, that's the
that.
most important. Like,
Do that.
not smart.
I think it's a great idea. Just go like straight up demon, like supernatural, you know, and you get like the demon guys that they kill. Just walk around as demon.
You know, you're right about the blood thing though, because when
Maybe
I got
cut your tongue like a snake. Be like, dude,
I got my tragus
I'm a
pierced.
snake.
You know, because that was the only wild thing I could do. I'm like, I can get a piercing. My parents would be a little pissed. So of course we go to Bobby D, who used to own a piercing shop.
Yeah.
We go to his trailer in Mims with James Oswald and me and my drunk friends, and they had their boobs done, everything. So they're like, they get theirs pierced, they don't flinch. They're like, it doesn't hurt at all. And I've never gotten anything like that. And he pierced my tragus. It sounded so loud and it hurt so bad. And then the blood's pouring into my ear.
Ew.
It was like, I was so mad at my friends. Like, why'd you tell me it hurt this bad? Like, because you wouldn't have done it. And so I still have both mine in, because I will not take them out because they hurt that bad for weeks after. And they took theirs out. And they all, like, when I saw them last, they're like, hey, maybe we should all get them redone again. I'm like, I've never left because, like, it was that painful. I'm like, I'm going to rock these until I'm dead. But yeah. And I can't believe I got them pierced at a trailer at Mims.
Yeah. I passed out when I got my ears pierced. I didn't get my ears pierced. I guess one.
Where on your
I was
ear?
like 11 or 12 and I was getting a haircut. And my stepdad saw that the lady cutting my hair had an ear piercing gun and he thought it was super cool. And he's like, do it to him. Do it to him. Do his ear.
It was your earlobe?
Yeah.
You passed out.
And when she went to shoot the gun, I went like jerked at the same time. I'm 11.
Oh, no.
12. So I'm a kid. And then as soon as the blood, I started seeing the blood on my ear. I just passed out. I came right back too. The first tattoo that I got on my back, that was my first one ever. At the very beginning, I was holding my breath while they were doing it, like just subconsciously holding my breath, and I started to faint. And then he goes, breathe, man. And I just...
Is that something that happens
I was like
to you?
18 or 19, and I started breathing. No, if you hold your
I've never
breath while
fainted.
pain is happening, you'll pass out.
I've never passed out or fainted before.
Yeah, I have.
I felt a weird thing after I got a shot once for typhoid or
It's
something.
like a tingle. You start to like everything starts to like stars, and then just slowly fade away.
You get the black hole.
Yeah.
Take a knee so you don't.
And then
wake
you're
up.
out, and then you're like, huh? What just happened?
So, like, you realize it's happening, and then just it's
But
Yeah,
it's like,
like having surgery or something.
It's like a slow fade out, and then
Yep.
a slow fade back in.
take a knee, don't hit your head.
Yeah, just like if somebody in football gets hit and they're laying on the ground and got a stinger, same thing.
Man.
Not same thing, but
You guys been here in the Duck Hunters?
man, you're sheltered. You've never been hurt or
No, I've been hurt, but
fucking
not like
pummeled.
that. No, but that's why football's so interesting to me. I'm like, I can't
maybe you should get some
imagine.
pads on and do the girls' league out in Orlando and kick some ass. Sounds like you want to.
I used to
You're
like
telling me some stories about fighting some people earlier, and I was like, okay, maybe you want to start really fighting some people.
Lauren and
Maybe you
I
should
would
do
get in
some UFC
actual
shit.
fights, like
Maybe-
when we were
yeah.
younger. Like we would actually fight each other, and like that's the closest I think I've ever gotten
Like
to where
fist fight and hurt
well, like
each other.
more like I would throw her on the bed or something, and like
Ooh.
like literally we'd be fighting on the bed, and like to see, but we were both just arms locked, like yelling, and like it was ridiculous, but
Was it fun?
yeah, of
Me and
course
my
it was
friend
fun.
Josh up in Kentucky when we
Hot
were like that
Mallory.
age, dude, it was on, bro. Like it was fight. Like as soon as he walked into the room, headlock, fucking hold him as hard.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get out, and like, fuck you, and then he turns and flips you on your back and your fucking head. Like, and you start crying. And he goes, "Don't tell your mom."
Lauren's the only
Yeah,
friend
that's
I've
awesome.
ever had like that, like to
Yeah.
where we could like fuck around like
I didn't
that.
think girls
like,
did that like guys did. I thought just boys did that.
Well, Lauren's very stubborn, and like we weren't
stubborn.
friends when I met her. It was because we were on the same volleyball team and played the same spot, and I was very cocky and like told everyone like I'm gonna take it from her, and like we had to have a team meeting and powwow outside. It was like this whole thing, but then she sat next to me in a bunch of my classes, and we started hanging out. I was like, man, this
You're
chick's actually
aggressive.
kind
I
of
didn't know
cool.
you're so aggressive.
Let's wrestle.
Dang, girl.
Delusional kid who is athletic, and then found drinking, and then it all goes away. But now, like, that was my best friend, and it's weird because I feel like with girls that have real friendships, they start off as enemies, man. Like, you
have to.
gotta know that, like, you can be real, and then
With girls, T, what do you think? Do you have any experience in any of this that we're talking about?
Help me out.
girl fighting. Girl fighting is way worse than guy fighting.
Like-
Guys
like a
can
real girl
physically
fight?
fight, and then it's
growing
over.
up when you're in your teenage, like you grew up around like multiple brothers, right?
Yeah, rough.
You have
stuff.
some sisters? you have any?
Negative. No.
Did you have girls around at that 12, 13 age, or was it just all boys?
There's a lot of girls in our neighborhood.
Okay. Girls, were they fighting each other?
Oh, yeah.
It was on.
It was on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Boys.
most girls, it's psychological warfare. Like the shit that we would do to each other. Just like, I wish it was more like guys where you fight and then it's over. But girls are malicious and they will like a long con a girl.
Girls are they just hate other girls.
Like, I don't know where it comes from. It's so
What is
weird.
it? Like you guys, like girls are kind of in control of everything nowadays. Right?
We've come a long way.
Like from like where you guys were to where you are now.
That show Finding Your Roots, they show that like how girls like at one point couldn't make this. I'm like, I can't imagine living in that world.
Yeah. You guys are taking over.
You keep saying guys.
Who runs the world?
Yeah.
It's girls.
It really is.
But no, girls need to be nicer to each other though, because that shit, like, it's not
So why
cool.
y'all hating each other? Y'all need to be working together is what I'm saying. Or you guys would be even twice as strong.
It's like, I saw
Y'all like your own worst enemy.
I saw this TikTok talking about Generation X, how, you know, we don't hit our kids, but our generation, like we got hit, but you know, he's like, but you look at your other Gen Xers and you're like, sometimes they deserve it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you wish you could just do that. Cause like my parents, like I only got hit if I really if I backtalked my mom or something. It only happened, I think I only got one time. But man, I look at him like, I can't even do that to my kids. And sometimes I want to be like, somebody else is going to do this to you. Like when you're like,
you want to rage out on a kid every once in a while.
how good are we that we don't?
There's no person out there that's going to say that that's not, not the case. Like you get mad at them because when they don't listen or there's something or they're like asking you the same question over. Anything can happen. You just have to have the restraint not to, but you can want to.
It's amazing the restraint I have.
But you just can't actually do it.
Right.
Anymore.
It's like, but is this working? Is this parenting style working? Like I was telling Thad, it's like, it's so weird because back when I was young, I remember being younger than Declan, going to school by myself with my younger brother, coming home, my mom wasn't there. I'd have to let myself in. And that's just how it was. Like if I forgot my key, I'd have to sit out for 2 hours.
You want to know why it is working or it can work still? It's supposed to be an evolution of humanity and understanding. Hitting had never worked.
No.
Because you hit and hit and hit and hit or got hit.
But sometimes it does. You guys fight and
No,
fight.
you
And
just
get
try.
physical and it's over.
You just try harder to hide it so you don't get caught. But then when you get caught again and you get hit again, some people learn, some people don't. I think the right way that we're supposed to evolve and learn and how to handle it in today's age is ultimately you're trying to get your child to understand that what he did is wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can have a discussion with that kid, like that's at a normal tone and just have a conversation and act like you know what I mean? And really be involved, you can have that same discussion because I fucking spanked Silas before, and as soon as I did, and it was over some school stuff, and getting in trouble and fighting at school and stuff. As soon as I did, I was like, oh, I was so wrong.
Now that I think about it, you have a very calm demeanor when you talk to your kids, and it's impressive because it's always the same, even keel.
So then I had to go upstairs and sit down and go, dude, I was wrong. I did this. It was not cool.
Yeah. You felt bad, huh?
I did it because I was so mad because I've been trying to get you to understand this and this and this. And I promise you, I'm not doing this for my good of everything. I'm trying to give you the tools to be the best you can. And so when the things would happen, I would just, without being like a annoying prick of a dad, because I feel like as soon as you become an annoying prick of a parent to your kid, they shut off all listening to you because you can't act right. So why should they? So if you can act right in the situation and admit guilt, it gives them the opportunity to admit guilt. Because if you never admit that you're wrong, why are they or how are they ever going to learn that they can admit that they're wrong?
I literally just had to do that with Declan.
You know what I mean? And when you do that the right way, then the kid will respond differently. Like I feel like now every time there's a couple things that I can get on Silas about, and it doesn't click. It doesn't matter how. Like I could rage on the kid. Yeah. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, what's that about?
That's just what he's about right now, and I just got to keep grinding. Kids. But then, like I remember me and Allie having a couple things, And then boom, a certain age clicked, and I went, "Oh, we don't have to deal with that at all anymore."
You're right. I literally was just
I mean?
talking about that with a therapist today.
Yeah.
Like you tackle one thing and then the other ones come up. But like what you're saying on this, if I could give anybody any advice, what I wish I never would have done was ever like raise my voice and yell at the kids at all, because that's how like they respond back to me. And I now am very calm about things, but they still remember how I was before. And it's very hard not to like get up to their level when they're being like that. But the best thing you can do is stay calm, because really that is and it really works. And I get frustrated because I'll yell and I realize like, what am I doing? Like, this is not
working.
Yeah. And I don't know if they understand, because, they can't really tell me, but I feel like when I'm calm, much more gets accomplished. But they still rage out on me because they are acting like when I yelled at them.
And Allie, as a teenager, like when she first got her phone and doing things, if I texted her and asked where she was, right, she might not have responded to me right away. And I might have to call and she not answer the phone. And then if I, when she finally did call me back, if I didn't like the answer, I was pissed, and I'm like, listen, so we finally had to have the proper talk of, listen, I'm not doing this. If you can just respect me enough to communicate with me, then life is going to be a lot easier. I promise. I'm not going to micromanage you the same. You got to be able to communicate, and you got to let me know where you are and where you're going. Now she over communicates. Like I get it. She'll go, can I go to the gym? Can me and Zach go to the gym? And he's going to pick me up. I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead. And when he gets here, Zach's here. We're leaving now.
I love that.
She gets home. She gets to the gym. We are at the gym. When she's leaving it, we're leaving the gym. And when I go on the app to see, it's exactly what's happening. And she's doing exactly what she wants to do, but she's being trusted because she's earned it, because we had the right talks.
Right.
Because if I just got mad at her and she went up there and stormed and didn't understand why I was mad, like fully understand it, not just hear it, understand it. Hearing something, listening to something, understanding something is totally different.
Yeah.
When they understand why, then they'll think about it, and then it will register. And then, so I'm not saying it's always going to be this way, and I'm not saying I know everything, and I don't want to know everything. My mom did not know 50% of what happened in my life. Good, because I would have been a problem if she knew half the stuff I was doing.
Don't you think it's weird when people are like, oh yeah, I tell my parents everything like this and that, and I'm like thinking like, I kind of don't want to know. Like, I just want to know you're being safe and making right decisions and staying alive.
I want to know you care about what you're doing.
Yeah, be vigilant, be nice,
care about yourself,
be a good person,
and love yourself.
Yeah,
the rest will work out. Whatever you want to do, it'll all work out. So that's kind of the way I feel like.
It's so crazy. Like, you're so right. Like with Keegan, when we first got Disney passes, he would spit in the air because he liked the feeling of it landing on his face. And this would happen constantly. And no therapist could figure out how to get him to stop. Put our hand over his mouth. We do this, that. And you're in closed spaces and that. And at the time, I was like, this is the worst behavior. Because like everyone stares at you. Hey, we can't make him stop. It's his control. And then all of a sudden, I noticed, I was like, wow, he doesn't do that at all anymore. But now he's 8 years old and still does not poop on the toilet. And I'm like, oh my God, like, is he ever going to? But for Christmas, I got this like roller coaster thing, 3-foot thing to build. Yeah. He wanted it so bad. And he was like farting. I told him, I was like, if you go poop on the potty, we'll put it together. That kid ran in the toilet, pooped in the potty. First time I've ever seen it happen, ever.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now, every other time we put him on the toilet, he would cry and tremble in fear, like something was going to happen to him. And I was like, oh, so you can do this. You're like you're choosing not to. And he hasn't done it since. Wow. So now like we had a meeting with a therapist say, I have a game plan. I'm really going to try hard this year to get this to happen. Because
when I was over there a couple of weeks ago, Keegan or Declan, I'm sorry. Declan's my guy.
He loves you.
Did you see us run together, frolic together?
Because he was following you leaving.
Catch each other and hug.
Oh, yeah.
He like jumped into my arms and we hugged and embraced in the middle of your yard.
Oh,
and we ran full
Mr.
speed at
Scott!
Brent saw it. It was hilarious.
You were leaving and he's like trying to run down the road and chase you with a tablet so he can record your exit so he can watch it over and over again. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott. He says a weird little accent when he says your name. It's so cute.
Declan's the best, dude.
Okay.
Oh, if you have a phone, give him your phone and just let him go to town. and then watch the videos when you get home. I have never seen such directing. He puts the phone down, he backs up, and he gets his little setup, and he's like, "What's up?" And he does something funny, and then he goes and gets the phone and looks at it, and then he gets another one going, and then he runs around the house with it. It's the best.
Oh,
I still have them all.
everything's recorded.
The best one was the booger, the slow. He learned how to do slow-mo on the videos. So he does something and it hits a slow-mo and it does whatever in slow-mo. And it was like a slow, fast booger.
Oh my God. Kids are gross. But he's awesome. He's fun.
I love that kid so much, man.
He's so into what he's into
energy.
that it's like,
So energy.
yeah.
So energy.
I'm exhausted because they've been home for like 3 weeks. And like today was the first like quiet day.
Yeah, today's first day of kids going back to school from break, you know.
Yeah.
And Silas is like, man, I feel like we've been gone for like a month because all he's been doing is up there gaming for 2 weeks straight, you know. It's amazing.
It feels like it's been a long break.
It has been, man. It's been. I'm loving the weather we're getting this winter
Right?
so far.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, is it? And T, do you have any background behind why we're getting this weather this awesome?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, you know how we talked about we're getting these low pressures form on the tail end of the cold fronts, and they're sweeping
Low
down,
pressure.
right?
You're just trying to promote band?
No, and so, but the like stinger cold isn't down here hitting us. It's mostly like up north, and so
Where it belongs.
but we get the side with all the wet on it. you know?
Okay.
And wish I could say something.
And it's a
smarter
little
than that.
after effect of El Nino. Like, I remember seeing some reports that you texted me about, like something about us possibly getting snow in Florida because it should be a wetter, like and if it matches with the cold, we might see some flurry kind of stuff more often than normal.
I don't know if I heard that the flurries were going to definitely happen or anything. I know that we're going to
It
have
was just a higher chance.
but averages will be lower because of this cloud cover. And just what's coming up is we got a full moon on the 25th, and we also, if we can, so like maybe around February 1 through February 7 here is our average last freeze and frost date. So if you get to like January 15th and you're looking forward to like, I'm gonna plant some spring tomatoes or whatever,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, they can kind of see that far out now, and you'd be like, if there's no big cold front coming, you can get out early. But if there is one coming, you just wait a beat and, get on the backside of that.
Gotcha.
Wait, is this Groundhog's Day? Is this like, you're like a meteorologist, but they'd say the groundhog is predicting this cold front or something, whether there's going to be more winter or not?
Thad Hog's Day?
Oh my God. I mean, I'm being serious though. Like, when the groundhog comes
That might
out
be a
and you
little
see
sexual.
the shadow, like, I'm not talking about just a movie, but like, is that what it is? Just weathermen look and they're
That's his
like,
OnlyFans name.
or do they, I wonder if they just wing that shit.
I don't know. I can't speak on the groundhog's behalf. But
I'm getting in that place where I'm like, wait a minute, is this just like a plot? They're like, they say 6 more weeks of winter just to cover their ass, and if they're wrong, we're like, oh, it's the weather,
Well, no,
We're right all the time.
But
Yeah,
here
yeah.
is like if you, most of the time through the last, since I've been taking records, it's kind of like around and it's been retreating a little bit into January, but it's always been the second week of February and the first week of February when you have your average last frost and freeze. And it's, you go south of here and you get it earlier, you go north of here, you get it later. And it's a significant time for around here.
It made it feel like it was the holidays for real because it had a chill in the air.
We had a fire going every day night out front, and it was cold enough outside.
But no stinger.
No, nothing that was too bad.
Yeah, we don't need that. I mean,
My plants in the backyard will tell you that it hasn't been so bad because things that like last year died off like very quick, this year are staying strong. And part of it, I feel, is like the infrastructure back there. And I'm doing this garden out back, guys. And I'm a nerd about it. I'm back there all the time.
It's awesome,
It
though.
looks
And
so good.
like, I'm even to a point now where I can walk. I got my turtle in a 55 gallon over here now. And I can go out back and I got a couple places where I can just get like a handful of worms. And I come in here and like hand feed them. And it's like his favorite. Dude,
This house is so cool
the
when you
best,
think
dude.
about it. He's
It
got
really
like
is.
animals everywhere. He's got like a sanctuary out back, a podcast here. You got hidden bedrooms. You live
if
in a
you
cool
build it,
neighborhood.
they will come.
God,
It's
the
rad.
glow up is
Like,
real.
I love it. I love everything. That's why I never want to go anywhere. Like, people are like, Scott never goes anywhere. It's like, wow, would you?
Well, I mean, you've been working hard.
Well, I made.
Hot.
I'll tell you this, guys. I did make a choice. It's like when I was living, and paying rent. I wasn't paying much because the Perry family. I was renting a house from them, and they were letting me live there and save my money, and they were amazing to me for that. But at the same time, at least they're probably just telling me this, but they're like, "Well, you were amazing to me too because." I got to stay in there. They didn't have to worry about who was taking care of their house. We slowly did a few things. And then I told them, whenever the market flips and you're ready to sell the house, that's when I'll be ready to get out. So I remember Mr. Perry says, man, the market's looking kind of good. And I was thinking about maybe at the first of the year. I'm like, you read my mind. It was perfect timing. I said, I finally have enough money saved up. I'm going to start looking. The interest rates were like 3.5%. You know what I mean? It was perfect. And I said, I'm either going to buy a small house where I have a lot of, extra money to do a lot of things, or I want to get like the house that I want and not go out and do all those things. Cause I was having Disney passes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for three of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how expensive it gets out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm cutting all those things out, all the extracurricular things, and I want to just invest in us, in our family, in our house. And what better way to do it in Sherwood? Because, like, my kids,
Like-minded people.
well, my kids get to experience holidays like not many families get to experience.
So true.
And on Thanksgiving, there's more people outside. On Halloween, there's more people outside. You can't even drive down these roads.
Special neighborhood.
On Christmas Eve, there's cops at the intersections, and there's 400 trailers driving around all at the same time, and everybody's having a blast, and
Yeah.
Great.
it's magical. I've never been a holiday person. Like, I like the holidays, especially when I was married. I was, but being a single, Scott, it was like a bah humbug situation.
Right.
It was like, I feel alone, or the kids are at their mom's this Thanksgiving, so I got to like a friend's feeling bad for me and invites me to their family's house, and I love it. And I'd go, and it was a great time, and I wouldn't change it. But internally, deep down, you're like, something was missing. Mm-hmm. Since I, made the choice to come here, it's worked. I've been able to work. I don't want to go anywhere, and I just slowly find things to do here, and I love it. And people come, and I'll get up.
You have so much cool shit now.
But like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
You're planting a lot.
You have healthy habits.
You're making all that Scott sauce and the
my Scott sauce. Yeah, dude.
molasses.
Keep out so good.
Really good.
And I'm learning.
It's
Like,
great.
We said this earlier on, is a big reason for me being a little happier right now is the base of knowing you guys. And it's like, man, this podcast 3 years ago, I think it was 3. We did this for about a year before we met Thad, before Frank came on the show and did that whole deal. And since then, I was going over to Thad and Monica's house, and we were just hanging out, listening to music. He was showing me some of the producing. We're just getting to kind of know, this person, I know this person, my dad knew your family, all this kind of stuff, right? But I'd be vulnerable and tell them shit, and they'd give me the support, the emotional support that made me feel good, and we started collabing and getting along and built like a real strong friendship that I wouldn't change for anything. And it was all through everything that we've gone from then to here. And each time I have these little hurdles of the right people in my life, not someone that's wrong for me. I used to make I'm a social person. I'd make a lot of decisions and have a lot of friends that might not have been in my best interest and steer me down a path. My circle is the best circle ever. I got all my high school friends. I have you guys. I have other people in my life now that are very important to me. And it's all kind of working.
Yeah.
That's all anybody should be able to have to ask for.
I think you've started to realize that you deserve this kind of stuff. And so you're just like letting it happen. Cause
can I be honest with you? I keep worrying like, when's it going to fuck up?
Yes. Yes.
I'm
you
happy
probably
right
have
now and I'm
self-sabotaged yourself.
And I'm like, how's this going to fail?
But don't do that, because
I swear to God.
that's just
Yeah,
your
dude.
like flight or you're trying to protect yourself because you've been hurt before and you don't want to let it go there. But it's like once you just like let that go, it's like, and you have, and like You can actually tell when somebody has. You can see it in their face, the relaxation and like the not bullshit when they're like genuinely happy. That's why like when I walked in and I saw you, I was like, something's different. Like, I mean,
yeah, I'm
well, I had a feeling anyways, but
I'm just thankful to seriously to everybody that's been involved in that, you know, because it's not just, it's all of us.
yeah.
And I think everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
You know, everybody I see, you know, we're all going, there's inflation right now. There's all these crazy things happening in the world. You see what's going on in the Middle East right now. You see what could be happening in Taiwan right now. You see what's happening, and you see what's happening in our own country right now. Okay. All kinds of crazy shit's happening all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And half the shit, we don't know what's real and what's not because we have this new thing called AI who is very good at its job. And people are learning how to use it and testing it right now. And you'll hear a news story. Like we heard aliens are in Miami. Did you hear that story?
Yes.
So if I go on Twitter right now, or what is it, X now? And I type in Miami aliens. There's all kinds of videos on here of people, like some of it's funny and some of it's like first accounts of a Miami police department saying he believes in the aliens. And this video is just clipped in different ways. And there was a shadow figure. They thought it was like a shadow monster. I was 8 feet tall, murdering people. But then when you go watch the regular news, the local news from Miami,
it's an edit.
It shows the fights that they were reporting on video everywhere. So it's like people are out there really trying to create chaos in our lives every day. Like you hear like your Joe Rogan, a lot of comedians. I'm not going to just say Joe Rogan. A lot of comedians have podcasts, and comedians, I think over history have always been like on the pulse of what's happening. And like back in your Eddie Murphy days, a lot of those topics were kind of on point, you know, over things that were happening, or Richard Pryor, or you name the comedian back then, they're on the pulse. Well, now that pulse is podcasting, and these guys are sitting here being funny, talking, all your Ari Shafirs, all these guys get canceled. They're talking about how they got canceled for a joke, something that was funny. And it's the propaganda machine of, I'm not saying political media, I'm just saying media in general was able to take a report of something or take a clip of some guy's stand up and turn it into a way to get all of their sponsors to cancel them and frame it in a bad way. And then these comedians are having to come out, and it takes a few days, anywhere from a few days to a few months for them to show the full context of what was said. And then they go, oh, we messed up. Our bad. You're free. You're not canceled anymore. And so you're seeing these guys talk about how that's happening. You got this Epstein thing, which freaks me out, bro. Like that's the one I'm in on right now. It's like these names are getting released. T, we were talking about this at your house yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday morning for breakfast.
Early.
That breakfast was damn good.
It was.
Monica made us. I got there house like 6 a.m.
Is there something new with the Epstein thing?
Epstein, they keep releasing new documents and new pages, and I think they did more today. And there's going to be a lot more names be released, but pretty much what's happening is this stuff's being slow rolled out, and powerful people are helping slow roll it out. And I think it's because I don't think it's just powerful people. I think it's like, I don't care which government's in power. I don't care if it's a Republican or Democrat in power. I think it would still get slow rolled out the exact same, because I think that the implications on the United States look has a lot to do with this. I think Epstein and his Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, they're all double agents and spies with the Mossad and all that kind of stuff. You know, they're powerful people. Epstein was a math teacher. Okay, so you got all the, and look, this is all just my view. I don't know if I'm right. Wrong.
I love this right
now.
For
science and for
I want to hear what you're going to say.
Stuff. Like we are like we don't fact check, right?
There it is. Right there.
That's all we need. So Epstein was just a teacher. So you got Alan Dershowitz that's fighting real hard to try to act like he cares. Release these names because I'm innocent. I don't care. You're not. I don't believe you're innocent. Okay, in my opinion. Epstein was a teacher who was a good looking guy, a good talker. He got set up with money to be, as a spy, to be a financial investor to the powerful. And when you're a financial investor, because that's how he got his thing, is he was working with JP Morgan and all these guys, and he was like an asset manager in the private sector. So you get these government officials that are leaving the government sector and coming into the private sector. They would hit him up as a consultant and say, hey, how does this work? What's the best way for me to take my money and bring it into the private,
Okay.
and keep my wealth and be my money manager. But within that, ride on my plane, hang out with some hot women. Oh, you like younger women? I can use that against you. I'm going to record you. Everything was recorded. When they initially went and went through his place, they took out piles of photos and videotapes and everything. We haven't seen none of that, right? All we've seen is a few names that were already on flight logs that anybody in the public could see. And every one of those people have had like an opportunity to defend themselves. And now it's been years.
Yeah.
The guy, like the brother, look, I don't like, I watch things, but I watch them even when I don't agree with them because I want to hear what people are saying. Some things I agree with people like Tucker Carlson on. Some things I absolutely don't. Some things I agree with any president that's ever been our president on, and sometimes I don't. This isn't a political analysis, but some of these guys are onto something, and some of these guys have stuff to hide. And they're interviewing people, and I feel like some of it's being done for a reason, some isn't. I'm not saying Tucker's a child, anything. I'm just naming him as he's one of these guys that gets viral and gets a lot of views and that attacks a lot of these issues, and has viewpoints on it. He interviewed Epstein's brother. And Epstein's brother, this is one thing I kind of agree. I'm glad that this happened. The brother's been trying to even see an original photo of the death scene of the
jail?
In the jail, and he can't get it yet. How? Every other case that's ever been in the history of anything has been shown. But for national security and all these different, hibib reasons, it can't get released. It's because he was murdered. The first guy that the autopsy guy said it was a murder. Then a lady came in who never saw the body and declared it a suicide. That person's name was held for a while. Then it got released. And so they've been trying to talk to this person. And she's just got everybody on silent mode. Why can't we talk to you? Why did you make that decision? Give us a real reason. And see, when it's a suicide, there's no investigation. That cell, there was like 8 cells, right? There's like 8 cells in that little unit that's locked down. So when he died that night, it could only be 7 or however many other people were in that thing that wasn't a security, because all those cameras are on, but you can't see certain things. So all how that happened, because all the other cellmates in there, those names are not being released either, except for one that he happened to be Epstein's cellmate, and that guy, his name was known to the brother. That's the only way that they know what they know of the other. So all I had to do was bring a murderer or have one of those guys there, put him on the cell block that one time, go in there and kill him. The next morning, when it's time, transfer that motherfucker out. Don't release any of the information. And there's your murderer coming in, murdering the guy, leaving, and off into the blue. Who knows where he went? Maybe he was murdered, or he murdered him. So then there's no trace on that murder.
People would think you're crazy saying this story right now,
totally
but
true.
What's that show? House of Cards.
Yeah.
Like I never seen anything I never even thought about politics
This is
like
based
that.
on
when I
when
I watched that, I was like, holy shit, this could actually happen. These fuckers are conniving and sneaky, and like they could play it out any way they want because all they do is collect blackmail. Who would want to put themselves and live that kind of life? Like, I don't care what kind of planes are flying on. Like, I don't want to have to be stressing out about like keeping secrets and this and that. Like, it's so crazy though. Like, people seek out that life.
Think about Israel.
I just want to sleep good at night.
Think about okay, when I call him a spy or Mossad, with the spy stuff.
Is that really true? Because I never heard that before.
Like I said, I'm not fact checking. This is what I think.
Oh, okay.
I've seen other people say this, so it's not like I'm just making this stuff up. I mean, if you deep dive this, it's when you get to certain people, a lot of this information is kind of understood. But hear me
that
out.
part, but the spy thing.
Well, hear me out. You ready?
Yeah.
Israel. Mm-hmm. They are a small country that was put there by Britain. Now, they were there way before with Judah and all these old, there's a lot of Palestinians and Israelis. A lot of them are very closely genetically related because they've all lived in general vicinities of each other, and they've been fighting each other since way before we've been writing about it or anybody here understands it, okay? So that's why this issue is so deep, because it's a contested area where both have had valid claims over, parts of history. And it just depends on what part of history you choose to believe to whether you're going to be on one side or the other. And all it takes is whoever's in power that has a certain belief to hold that belief. Yeah. Okay. The Mossad or the Israel is giving multiple billions of dollars a year to be very heavily protected. When they were attacked by all the surrounding countries around them, they won. That's the only reason they exist right now there, because they won the war. Lebanon, all those motherfuckers around, all at once. So we're going to murder every one of you. And Israel beat all of them. So they are strong people. So people are scared of them. When if I'm surrounded by him, if every house around me was an enemy of mine, I'm going to take steps that are above and beyond protecting myself. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to you got to look 5 steps ahead just to survive. When you hear Israeli generals and leaders talk, they talk like that. Some of them talk in a sensitive way, but some of them talk in a very, they have to be 10 times stronger than everybody around them and put fear in them just to protect their, and Israelis, they are ruthless, evil motherfuckers too. Like they're over here, America, we're tight with them, right? And we have been for a long time. All it takes, there is proven instances of Israel's Mossad going in and disrupting like Egypt in the past and other people in the past, because they heard of something that might have turned into something that could have turned into something that hurt them. What better way for Israel to be protected and to keep their power and to keep the money coming in than to blackmail Prince Andrew, okay? President Clinton, President Trump, all of Trump and the Clintons were all personal friends before the politics came in. Something happened. I don't know what. Like the Trump thing, I'm not saying he actually, I don't know. But if a logical person, if it wasn't political people and people were Republicans and Democrats, if we were in high school and I said, dude, Johnny and Stevie used to fucking play together all the time and they were always hanging out and now they're in a fight. The fight is for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Something happened that nobody knows about, whether it's a political change, whether it was a backstabbing, maybe it was a crazy Epstein Island thing. And one person had the foresight to say, I want to win this battle. And I see that this is going to end bad for us because now I know Epstein's blackmailing me because he's got a video on me, that motherfucker. Get off of Mar-a-Lago because you got a video or tape on me saying or doing something. There was the old P tape, but we know that was bullshit. I'm just saying there's something that, Epstein, he would say things about, I got this on this guy. I got this on this guy. And he was telling these even girls in little small ways, like this guy likes this guy's about this. He was recording all of that stuff and then using it to blackmail to get power. I'm your money manager. You know what I mean? All of this stuff was information.
Oh my God.
Colleen Maxwell was set up. I mean, she was saying, you know what I mean? Like she's sent over here from her dad to be a part of all that. I don't care what anybody says. That's what I think. All I'm saying is things are not what they seem.
Right. And it's even harder now to determine what is, because it's like you get so much information. It's overload.
But what's happening now is this stuff could be easily protected for a long time in old ways. The internet has a way of exposing. And when it gets exposed right now, a lot of people are learning how to deflect and how to change narrative and how to muddy the waters to make it harder to prove. Everybody's always coming up with a new way to protect themselves.
And we're Americans,
And as the
distractions,
internet
ooh, new shiny thing. We'll move on.
Well, we're just trying to protect the whole world, and there's not enough of us to do it. But we feel like we have to, because otherwise there are other countries that would love to take us out. To be the most.
I'm very thankful I live in a country where I can watch Bravo, and that's like my biggest worry
Right.
is like what's happening on the season finale. Because but I am literally, I know that, and every night when I go to bed, I am so thankful.
Yeah.
Like that I don't have to deal with that.
And we
Like,
have a lot of shit to deal with here too that's other countries don't deal with.
That's a great ritual.
It really is.
yes, like I've noticed that ever since I started doing that, like everything is just more positive in general, like my mindset. But it took work. Like I knew I had a negative mindset, and I literally, Thad, made myself write down every time 50 things I'm thankful for. Like I have electricity, I have this and that. And no joke, it freaking worked. Like one day it just all clicked, and I was like, oh, like I really don't have it bad. Like what am I doing? And like it was that book, The Secret, that really helped. It's like really do, when you think positively, can attract that kind of same stuff, which is why what's happening to Scott right now is what's happening. Because it's like he's manifesting it.
It's rad.
What's happening?
You're manifesting.
But you've been on ever since the last episode we did, you kind of did like a tornado for a while, a hot minute.
I'm sorry.
And then, everything mellowed out right around Christmas. And then,
It's getting a tornado out of me.
well, it was life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
But look what happened,
Like just stick with it, right?
Yeah.
Like it sucks because when you're in it and things are bad, it's like real bad. But it's like if you just keep going and just stay the course, like things just happen to kind of right themselves as long as you're a good person. It's so weird to see karma happening, like through your life. It just takes a really long time sometimes to realize it.
It really does.
But you're more grateful for it.
Yeah.
But then you have to make sure that you're acknowledging, like, hey, man, like, I am grateful. Like, I'm not taking this shit for granted.
Big time.
Because it could be totally different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we take a break?
Yeah, I think we could almost end the show. We got an hour in.
All right.
We didn't need a break this time because we had a lot to talk about, and I know we were already kind of late coming in, so I didn't want to break
back.
and make it, But we are back. And, dude, thank you guys.
Yes, we're thankful.
Just thank you guys. It's been pretty awesome just having the right people in your circle and seeing how we all we don't have to talk to each other every day, every week, but when we do see each other, it's a thankful. It's not like, oh, I didn't do this or you didn't do that. Like, this is just fun.
Yeah.
And when things are fun and you get to have fun doing things, they'll continue to be fun. And you know what I mean? That's why I've never wanted to make this podcast something to where it's like, we have to make money. We have to have this many downloads. We have to spend X amount on marketing. I want us to, if we want to do that, cool. But if we don't, let's just record and have fun. And
what
make
if it happens naturally?
That's the way it's supposed to be anyway. And,
listen, this is going to be a great year. I know it. Like I started off, I beat you in fantasy football. Like, I don't know.
Congratulations.
Now I need Michigan to win tonight and the Lions to win the Super Bowl. And oh my God.
The Magic are good this year.
It's all happening.
We have a lot of good things happening. Thaddeus, man, thank you so much for just always pushing me.
Cool.
Motherfucker, 6 a.m. Hey, Scott, what are you doing? We're going to do this today. We're going to do this today. I'm doing this right now. And I'm like, oh, you're doing a lot. I'm going to do more.
It's nice to have a friend like that because I'm not a morning person.
He is. I can be, but I'm not always.
Never.
And it's like
No.
But I'm very, very appreciative of everything.
He got some new piano. Well.
Yeah.
It's bad.
You're going to be playing on that thing. We're going to be recording some of it, and we're going to be using some of it.
Great.
Like,
yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, we got a new camera, like a nice camera to do some photo shots. I want to start doing a lot more photography stuff and learning. Some of the pictures that I was taking even the last couple of days, like some of them would come out really good, and some of them are like, dude, what's wrong with me? Like Brinko would not be happy.
I liked him.
So thank you.
All right. Well, let's start this off in a good way.
See you next.
Love you guys.
Guess what?
And that's a wrap.
Not yet. Now it's a wrap.
Oh man, this shit game is started. I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous already.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. It all ends tonight.
So come on.
This is your boy Sean. Bringing for more. Y'all gonna be alright.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. It all ends tonight.
Bringing for more. Y'all gonna be alright. Alright. Yeah. The end's my favorite. Gotta get to the end. Gonna be alright.
Dude, that's just killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.
Awesome.